For 30 years, I told myself the same thing. Someday, I'll learn music. And then one day, I did the math and realized that someday had turned into decades. So I turned 50 and I bought a ukulele. It wasn't like I never tried. Back in high school, I played guitar in a punk band. We rehearsed in basements, garages, and went through way too many band names that I can count, all starting with SG. We were absolutely convinced that we were going to be famous. Looking back, there may have been a few flaws in that plan. I really wasn't a good guitar player. I knew maybe 3 or 4 chords. I could make a lot of noise, and honestly, the noise was the part I was good at. But then the band broke up, the guitar went into a closet, and life took over. Job, bills, years, 30 of them. But every so often that itch would come back. I'd hear a song or watch a relative or a friend play their guitar and think, man, I really miss that. Maybe I'll get back into that. And as soon as that thought would appear, I'd forget about it again. I'm John, and this is Ukulele Forge. The whole thing started in Hawaii. We were on a family trip wandering through Lahaina, and we ended up in one of those little touristy shops. You know, the kind that has hats and shirts, and sitting in the back on the shelf were a couple little Soprano ukuleles. As soon as I saw those ukuleles sitting up on that shelf, that little voice in my head popped up and said, hey, remember me? Remember when we played guitar? I bet you can learn to play those. So I went and found my wife and floated the idea past her, and she gave me the look. You know the one, fellas. The one where it says, what are you getting into now? And I'll never forget what she said next, as it caught me off guard. She said, if you're going to buy one, don't buy it from here. Buy it from a real music store. So that's what we did. We all went back to the Airbnb, and the first thing I did was research local music stores. Something I always do. I'm a research guy. And so I found one, Lahaina Music, and my son and I headed out. And a little while later, I walked out carrying my first ukulele. But here's the part I didn't expect. While I was paying for the ukulele, the owner's son told me that his father taught lessons and that there was a group lesson the very next day. So guess what I did? The next day, we showed up. The next day, my wife's son and I went to that lesson. There must have been 20, 30 people there. Now the owner, Jason, was there, and he was giving out ukuleles to anybody that needed one. And my wife and son both grabbed one. And there we were, all holding our ukuleles, all equally lost. And I was excited. I had my new ukulele. And so I picked up my ukulele, and he started the lesson. And I remember, I didn't sound that great, but I'm playing. I'm doing something I really wanted to do. And being there with my wife and son was just amazing. I remember I could barely hold the thing. But somewhere in that circle of off-key strumming, something clicked. For the first time in 30 years, I wasn't just thinking about playing music. I was actually doing it. And that was it. I was hooked. Now I know how it sounds. Guy turns 50, buys an instrument on vacation, and swears that this time it's for real. And believe me, I've started things before. I've got a graveyard of hobbies that didn't make it past month 2. Just ask my wife. But this one feels different. And I've been trying to figure out why. Maybe it's the age. Maybe it's the ukulele. It's small, forgiving, only has 4 strings. Doesn't make me feel stupid for being a beginner. Maybe I'm just tired of being the guy that says someday and never starts. I'm not trying to be a professional musician. I just want to get better than I was yesterday and see how far I can actually take this thing. And that is what this channel is. It's not a lesson channel. I'm not an expert or pretending to be one. I'm just a beginner, documenting the whole thing. The progress, the plateaus, the dumb mistakes, the frustrating days, and every small win along the way. And I don't think I'm the only one. I think there are a lot of people out there who've always wanted to learn an instrument. They tell themselves, I'm too old or I'm too far behind. And I don't believe it's true. So I'm going to use this channel to find out by actually doing it myself in public, where you can watch every step. So if you've ever wanted to learn music, or there's something that you've been putting off for way too long, come along for the ride. I'm going to keep practicing, keep showing up, and keep documenting exactly what happens. The good and the ugly. So subscribe and follow along, and let's see how far a 50-year-old beginner can actually get. The Forge is just getting started.